my inner trend line. Don't forget this outer trend line, we have these two touch here, okay, and then so price came and played above this trend line a little bit, it broke it, came back. So now going forward, we'll be talking about trending markets and consolidating markets. So markets can consolidate, sideways in a perfect. Markets can consolidate in a perfect. Markets can consolidate in a perfect sideways. That's okay with the same amount of touches going sideways like this. Okay, this one form of consolidation. Okay, I shouldn't be saying this in this video. This video is not meant for that, but just for, of course, to get a better understanding. Okay, you can see we have two perfect horizontal lines. Okay, why we can also have this. We could also have this form of consolidation. Okay, this is another form of consolidation. Okay, and it could also be the other way. Okay, but this is just for illustration purpose. Let's clean this up. Okay, so what do we have here? So we can see price consolidating here. So this is a not so perfect sideways consolidation. All right, so this is a kind of consolidation I'm talking about. Okay, so price came and consolidated in this area. In this area, price came consolidated along this outer trend line and then returned back under the trend line and kept going downwards. Okay, so now so the information I gleaned from this outer trend line is that price is still bearish. Of course, from the monthly it was bearish, from the weekly it was bearish. Now on the daily we're still having bearish momentum. Okay, so now but for this inner trend line I had a break. So at this point here, when I had a break of this line, okay, so what I'll be doing is that on my lower time frame, on my entry time frames, I'll be looking for bearish for bullish signals going forward up to this point here. Okay, so now since we have this, we are still, so from this weekly trend line, since we are still bearish up to this point here, from this bounce here all the way to this point, coming down. Okay, now we have this again, we have another point here. Okay, this is a trend line, another trend line on the daily time frame coming down. So now this is actually this is a recent chart today, 17th of July. Okay, so now what will I be expecting from the market at this point here? Okay, what will I be expecting? All right, so now I can see that price is trying to return to this trend line here, and between this point here and here I have 140 pips. So if I'm going to enter this market for the short term, so you can see I always emphasize on this. Okay, for the short term, all right, what I'll do is that I'll be targeting this trend line. So immediately price gets to this trend line, I should know that I should be getting out of the market. Okay, so I'll do this. So price can actually do this now, come all the way here. Okay, you can see I have another bounce, a third bounce. Okay, so now let me try and let me project this more into the future. So my daily time frame, I'm still bearish, but if I scale down and I see a buying signal, okay, if I'm buying, I'll be targeting this place. So when I get to this point here, I should be closing my positions. Okay, I'll be closing my position. Or price apparently can also do this. Sorry, can also have a break. Price can do this. From here, we have a break. All right, and then we keep moving, and then we keep going upwards, All right. So until we get to this, maybe it may actually come to this trend line here. This is a weekly trend line. Okay, if you've been following me. All right, so going by this, by the time I connect these 2 points again, all right, so it's already giving me a clearer market direction. So guys, these things it doesn't come that way. You have to spend a lot of charts. Like, look guys, there are great gurus. They call themselves gurus out there. They call themselves mentors. They call themselves teachers. They call themselves sifu. But guys, I'll tell you something, guys. The chart is the best teacher. Okay, it's that chart that will actually teach you what it is. Okay, as in the best we can do as mentors, teachers, okay, and leaders in this market. The best you can do for those who are new into this market, or those who are trying to train themselves in this market, the best you can do for you is to point you in a direction. Okay, the best we can do for you is to point you in the direction you should go. Okay, but seriously, the chart is the main teacher here. Okay, nobody can do better than the chart. Nobody can teach you better than the chart. So you have to do your due diligence and spend time with the chart. Okay, it's just like having a spouse. Okay, if you don't give attention to that spouse, okay, you're not going to eat the fruits of that relationship. Okay, so you have to develop a relationship with your chart. Okay, you have to build something solid over time, and then she will begin to reveal herself to you that this is what I am, this is what I want. I want you to touch me here. I want you to love me this way. Alright, so like I said, you have to spend a lot of time with the chart. Okay, then after a while you start gathering a lot of information. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, there are traders that use Trendline as their sole strategy. Okay, that's what they're comfortable with. That's what they've learned over time. Okay, I've seen that. Alright, and there are traders like me that like to combine multiple things together. And going forward, I'm going to explain to you why I combine this thing, because that's what I'm comfortable with. That's my style of trading. Alright, so now going by this. Okay, so this is what I may be looking at, going forward on trendline basis. Okay, that this is what may likely happen. Okay, I will give you 2 scenarios that can play out here. Either the other price comes back to this trend line, have a bounce on this trend line, keep going down, or we have a breakout. Like I said, those are the 2 possibilities that can play out for trend lines. So now, this is the most recent. Okay, so even going by this, all right, I will still scale down to the 4 hour. I scale down to the 4 hour. Okay, and what do I have here? What do I see here now? What do I see here? Okay, now this is what we have on the 4 hour. We have a touch here. You can see we're already forming another trough here. All right. So let me color code this to what color line is now? Let me see, orange color. All right. So we have a trend line here. So like I said, on the particular chart you're dealing with, always use the tip of the week. Use the tip of the week. So now we have this. This is another trend line here. Okay. So guys, like I said, so now there are times this thing could be confusing. Okay, you don't know whether to pick this week here or to join this week here. So what I still try to do is this. From this tip here, I still draw another trend line. Okay, so you can see this touch, this bounce here, this bounce here. So this is 2 troughs, these are 2 bounces, and this is what we have. This and this. Can you see this? Okay, come down. Actually, we have a break here. But when it came to this trend line, it bounced. Okay, and then we still have another trend line here. So we could stay from we could have another multiple trend and that trend line here. So now how many breaks do we have here? We have one break here, two break here, and then we have a bounce here. So this is how many trend lines we have: 1, 2, 3, 4 on a 4-hour time frame. All right. So now this is what we have. Okay, another trend line. So I'm just doing this illustration for you to be able to see, plenty examples of how to pull out your trend line. Okay, I'm not one of those teachers that will just give you 1 or 2 examples and then allow you to go figure the rest out yourself. Of course, but with more examples, you get a clearer understanding of the subject matter. Okay, so we have 2 bounce on this place, on this trend falling down, this price here falling down. Then we have a breakout here, and then price came to have a bounce on this daily trend line, and then it kept falling. It kept falling. So now this is a recent chart. What am I expecting here? Okay, now I have a break of this trend line. Okay, since now I'll be targeting the daily trend line. Okay, from here, from where price is now to this point here, we're having 140 pips approximately. So now I'll be targeting this daily trend line as my target. So if price decides to come, because price have a mind of his own, if price decides to come all the way up here, this should be my target. This should be my exit. Guys, do you follow? Okay, these are details we should be picking. Okay, don't forget, they always say that the devil is in the details. All right. So let me declutter my chart. Okay, so let me tell you how I'll be approaching this week. Today is Saturday. Today is a Sunday. Okay, so I like to do my analysis on a Sunday where there's peace and quiet and no one is disturbing me. All right, so I do this. So now what am I expecting? I'm expecting for price to come all the way to this daily. If you have a break of this, then of course, all right, and next, if we have a break of this trend line, so possibly price will get all the way to this point here. All right, this is the weekly, and then of course the higher time frame. But for now, our direction remains bearish on the long term. Okay, but on the 4-hour, we can look to take short bull, as for the short term we can afford to just pick some from coins along the way until price gets to this point here. So we could keep going down, to the 2-hour. All right, pulling out. We could still go down to the 2-hour, pulling out trend lines and all that. Okay, so here we have a break again, price keep going. So but let's just stop at the 4-hour, because like I said, all this is just to inform us, okay, where we should be placing our bets. Should we be bullish? Should we be bearish? Okay, so overall, you understand with me that, and you agree with me that this is a bearish market. So that's how. So look, all these guys that call themselves professionals, pro, look, they're not doing anything special. Okay, they're not doing anything special, guys. Nothing special. All right, it's just that they've done their due diligence. They spent a lot of time with the chart, and that's what they've gathered. Okay, you too can do that. You too can be like that. Okay, just for you to do your own due diligence, spend time with it, be dedicated to this thing. Okay, and also jump at you. Okay, that's what they say, blessed is he who gives and receives. So the more you give, the more you receive. So if you give your time to the charts, trust me, over time you are going to receive a lot. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, okay, and also like this video so that it can be broadcasted in more frequencies for others to be able to identify this video. So now going forward, so this is one analysis. So all the while we've been on NSD card, so why don't we let's pick another chart. for more illustration. Okay, so let's look at gold.